Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm here for a Craft With Me video and also to share some cards from a class that I made. And then at the end, I'm going to have a giveaway, so I hope you'll stay with me till the end. I took a class with Brutus Monroe, the company Brutus Monroe, and it was taught by Christopher Allen, who owns the Brutus Monroe company. And so we made some cards, and then at the end, lots of times after I finish a class, and I just put leftover supplies in my stash. But this time I decided I was going to try to use some of them instead of just sticking them in the stash and make some things with what was left over. So anyway, the stamps and dies obviously you can use forever and ever. So this was the stamp set that we got as part of the class. And it came with the coordinating dies so that you could cut each of them out. So I just stamped these a bunch of times and die cut them out, and then I took time to color a bunch of them so that it'd be real easy. I could just grab some and put them on different projects that I had. And so I wanted to share that stamp set and die set. So I'm going to show you the cards that we made in the class, and then we're going to put a card together with some of the leftovers that were left after the class. This was one of the cards we made. There was a little stencil that came in it so that you could make these raindrops in the back. And then obviously the images that I die cut and colored. And then I just added this extra layer of the blue with the Swiss dots on it. In the class, it was just the white and the black layer laying on top of the white card base. But I decided I wanted another layer in there, so I just added that to the card. This was another card that we made, and I'll see if you can kind of see that on the circle here, it's kind of, there's some shiny, some glitter. He has a product that he calls Overlace that's kind of a sticky plastic that you put over the top of it, and it has this glittery aspect to it, and there are different patterns that you can get with it. Anyway, they gave us one sheet for the class, so we had used the first sheet and we die cut out the circle and used it on here on this class, on this and you can kind of see how it glitters in between the strips of washi tape. And then we took the part that we die cut out for the circle and put it on top of this piece to make it kind of glittery. So this was another card. He had given us the background paper, and then we did the squiggly lines around the edge, mounted it on a black piece of cardstock and then on the white card base. And then these are obviously your images from the stamp and die set. This was actually strips of the washi tape. He gave us these big wide pieces of washi tape. It was on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that we got all these different strips of wide washi tape. And so that's what was used on this card, were those wide pieces of washi tape. And then so for this card, he had us cut them in small strips and then just layer them on the circle that we had here. And then put the glittery piece on top of it and then layer it on the card. And so then this one had the same idea of the circle in the center with some die cut pieces that we had colored. And this is actually the circle that came out of this one. We die cut out of this one, we then put on this card. So it really was a class about making the most of the supplies that you have as well. So those were the 3 cards we made in class. So then I thought, well, I had some leftover washi tape. Not a lot of washi tape, but some. So I decided to put it on a card, and I used up the washi tape that I had. So this was just a card base cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then I cut a piece to layer it onto that was 4 by 5 1/4. And then that layers very nice onto the cardstock for the card base. So I'm going to glue that down to begin with. This is just some cardstock that I had in my stash. And then I'm just going to layer this on top of it. So I thought I would just kind of follow what we kind of did in the class with a circle on the front of it for the focal point. And then these were the images that I decided to use on this one. And on these we propped them up on foam tape and everything, but I think I'm just going to glue these directly to the card. Kind of helps with the mailing if they're a little flatter. So I'm just deciding kind of where I want them to be on the card. I think that's it. So now I'll just glue those down. And while I'm gluing, I'm going to talk to you about the giveaway. I thought, you know, sometimes you think a die set is and a stamp set is cute, but you don't necessarily have the money to get it, or you already have a lot in your stash. So I thought I wanted to share, and I'm going to be trying to do that more with a lot of these supplies and everything that I have. I want to share. So I am going to gift this set of die cuts, which is one of each of the stamps that we got die cut out, this set right here, and send this card in a giveaway. So if you will mention the word rain in your comment below, then you will be entered in my giveaway. And it's summertime, people are busy, so I think I'm going to give about 2 weeks for people to have a chance to sign up if they'd like to be part of this giveaway. And so I'm thinking that would be, let's say the 10th of August. I'll do a drawing on the 10th of August. That's actually my middle son's birthday, so that should be fairly easy for me to remember. And you'll get this card, and then you'll get these die cuts that you can color however you want to. I had colored a bunch of them in different colors, but you can choose different colors and use them on whatever project you want. So thank you very much for staying to the end of my video, and I look forward to sending someone this card that we made in the video and a set of the die cuts that they can use on some of their projects. Thank you very much for watching my channel.